Let me guess. I bet you wish they would just stuck with Jeff's belt and not got the big TNA belt. Am I wrong?
No, I like the TNA belt. It's just one of those things where I think they went too overboard with it. It's like the new IWGP belt. Like they were warm.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. What you thought of the new IWGP title, because I hate the thing. I think it's ugly as sin, especially compared to the original, not the original, but the old one.
Well, the thing about it was, I love the main plate. The main plate is brilliant. I absolutely love it. But the side plates don't complement the main plate. The side plate's too big, and the belt itself is too big. I spoke to Belt Fan Dan, who actually made it and for New Japan and stuff, and he had warned them it's too big, it's too bulky, it won't be wearable. People are too skinny to wear it, and they were like, no, we wanted this size, we wanted this dimensions, and then he sent it out, and then like they within 2 days they had added more snaps because it wasn't strapping to around people's waists and stuff. So it's just one of those things. Like, it's not perfect, but New Japan said, this is what we want. It wasn't designed by a belt guy or a belt designer. They said, this is what we want, and you're going to make it for us. It's like WWE now. Like, I hate the Intercontinental Championship at the moment. It's awful. But WWE said, this is what we want. Go and make it. And no belt maker is going to turn down money. So they just went ahead with it. Like, and with the old New Japan Championship, it's like, imagine social media was around in 1998. The Winged Eagle is taken off of television and the Big Eagle debuts. If we had Twitter and Instagram back then, everyone would have completely crapped over the Big Eagle, even though it's one of the most loved belts of all time, because it was replacing something that was so loved and adored. I think if the new IWGP title replaced like one of the older designs that wasn't as well liked, I don't think the backlash would have been as bad.
Well, but you got to think though, the way they went from the Winged Eagle title to the Big Gold. See, you got me talking about WCW right now. Bring it back. The way they debuted the Big Eagle over the Winged Eagle was amazing, though. Because Austin comes out with the Winged Eagle the day after WrestleMania 14, gets in the ring, sees the Big Eagle, takes the Big Eagle, and just throws the Winged Eagle right down at his ankles. And just like, all right, that's awesome, right there.
So here's a hypothetical for you. So take a title like the NWA title, the 10 pounds of gold. If they were, no, this is legit. So if they were to, because on the surface, I think the belt's kind of ugly, personally, but I get it because there's history there. But if they were to replace that belt with a new title, even if it's a gorgeous belt, I think you're right, though. I think Twitter would just explode, and I can understand why, because like you're replacing the 10 pounds of gold. What the hell are you doing?
Well, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of the 10 pounds of gold, although it's one of the most famous designs ever. I commonly refer to it as the slop belt because if you look at it, it's got the two black sort of mask bits. And if they replaced it like tomorrow, I wouldn't be that mad. But it has been changed over the years ever so slightly. And when the current one debuted, it was about 4 years ago. The current one is a lot bigger in size compared to all the previous ones, like to fit a guy like the size of Nick Aldis. And as soon as it debuted, people despised it because of its size. Like, to me, it's my favorite version because it's bigger, it's bulkier. To me, a world championship should be big. And people crap on it. They like it now. They've had time to digest it and get used to it now. But I mean, I don't think something like that they would ever completely change. They tried to once with the big gold, and it came back a couple of years later. But I don't see that kind of design going anywhere, just because of the history and the lineage.
Yeah, that's not what I was alluding to. And we were talking about. Oh, what was that? Was that Ben?
No, it's just funny. You bring up, you talk about his favorite belt, and then you bring up my favorite belt, and he calls my belt ugly. It's like, really?
Your belt, the NWA title is kind of ugly. It is kind of ugly. Not gonna, just as a belt.
The head belt is ugly compared to that belt.
It's all an opinion, though. I mean, I for one, I really like the TNA Immortal Championship. No one's going to tell me that I can't like that design. No one will. the immortal belt, the TNA belt, the purple one.
I know.
But with in regards to like the look of a championship, everyone has their own opinion. There will be people in this world, I don't want to be friends with them, but there will be people who think the Divas Championship looks better than the Winged Eagle. Those people exist. So, and you're not going to change their mind.